Hey, I'm Jonathan. I'm from BARBRI Global. We're a legal education online provider, mainly in the US, but we have a branch in the UK, which is where I work from. I'm the revenue operations analyst, and I deal with all these sales enablement, dealing with CRM, Salesforce, data management, and anything sort of around that. To give some context to why we decided to go with DemandTools, we migrated into Salesforce around 2 years ago. At the time, there wasn't really a revenue operations person or anyone that would really look at data from at least the UK perspective. So as time went on, I sort of assumed the role, and then I became revenue operations, and I started working with more data. And as time went on, I just ended up doing more and more and more to the point where data was my life. And that would pull me away from other projects or stuff like that. So once it got too much, that's when I started looking into tools or automation to make things a bit easier, making sure that I had something that would deal with the data management, the data governance. We were having loads of issues with duplicates, especially because of the way our org is set up. There's a lot of duplicates that get created when someone abandons a purchase on e-commerce. So that created lots of duplicates, which then would lead to the sales team not being able to work their pipeline correctly, having being unhappy because they're working on the same customer twice. So that was the main motivation to look for something that would help dedupe. Um, and then as time went on, there's a lot of things we do to import opportunities or leads or even convert leads, which if you do it without a tool like Validity, it takes a lot of time of your day. So that was the main motivation to look for something like Validity. So if I had to give you what my favorite feature was from DemandTools, I feel like it changes all the time. It's never, it's sometimes something, and then a couple of months later, I've discovered something new. I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. I think to begin with, because of the dilemma we had with duplicates, I'd say dedupe was my favorite feature. Just being able to schedule a scenario to run every couple of hours or days and just not having to look at it again and be like, okay, you know what, Validity takes care of this. I don't have to go into the detail of it, and then merge everything set up within there. But I think as time has gone on, especially recently, after connecting with some of the reps from Validity, so Anthony in particular, we Match I think has become my favorite, and I think it's because with Match you can essentially build a report within Validity, which you can then use to do either an import, a convert, a dedupe, whichever you want. But it removes you from having to export data from Salesforce and then import it to Validity. It sort of does that for you. And especially when you create a schedule of a couple of scenarios, let's say match with an import, it just does that all for you. It gets you away from scrubbing things, analyzing things for a couple of minutes, hours, and it's just automated for you. So I think match is definitely what's become my favorite. I think from the top of my head, there's two things that I measure which DemandTools plays a vital part in. First one is how much time it gives me back. So like I was saying earlier, I used to give to give you a more context, I used to take half a day to do all the data quality, data management tasks that I had to get through, and this used to be on a daily basis. And I remember having a conversation once with one of my colleagues. I was like, if I was to do all the data cleaning that I wanted to do, it would take me off the full day every day. And it's like you can't spend so much time cleaning data because there's more to do than just clean data. So I think that's one of the biggest wins that I've had with DemandTools. I've managed to cut down significantly how much time I put into cleaning data. With the second bit that's really helped with, I think it's with trust of other users with the data in Salesforce. When you incorporate new users into Salesforce, people always, sketchy or distrustful of what they see if they're seeing that the data is not very accurate or they're seeing duplicates in their pipelines, for example. So I think Validity has really helped In terms of merge, so I was looking at the reports within Validity, sort of, your running history and stuff like that. It looks like we've merged about 6,000 records in the past 30 days. So that's quite a lot, but I'm not really surprised. So yeah, imagine, doing that day by day when you can just have something like Validity that does it instantly every day for you. You don't have to be a dev to use Validity. You can use it just as a regular user. You don't need to know any code. You don't have to build any massive flows, nothing like that. You just press a button, do what the button says, select your criteria, run your scenario, save it if you want, or create a schedule. And it's no more difficult than you creating a report in Salesforce.